Hi, I'm Pierre-Paul Turgeon, Canada's multifamily investing authority and former insider. That's what I used to be with Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation, CMHC, as an apartment building underwriter, and I'm a full-time successful investor myself with a portfolio of apartment buildings worth over $20 million. I've been a national speaker, coach, and trainer in this subject area for the last 12 years. And my mission is to help regular folks like you and I get into the game of investing successfully in apartment buildings. My purpose is to instruct you, give you knowledge, empower you, give you the tools to be successful at it and implement that knowledge and inspire you. My hope is that by helping regular folks be successful at creating wealth for themselves, they will do good in the world. And I'm super stoked to tell you about my next upcoming virtual workshop, my Canadian Multifamily Investing Blueprint, this coming February 26th, 27th, and the 28th. But here's the thing, I'm offering you an early bird price, which includes not just the virtual workshop, but also the on-demand course, right? Now, but why do I call this a blueprint, first of all? Because it is the same step-by-step process that I used to use at CMHC when I was an insider. If you follow this blueprint, it's going to make you look like a professional multi-investor from the get-go. It's going to enable you to get better terms of, financing terms and conditions in the business. But why is it a blueprint as well? Because all you have to do is grab my templates, put in your own information, and run with it. It's essentially a checklist system, all right, to ensure that you don't skip any of the steps and make costly mistakes and ensure that, that you have a successful investment. As part of the course, I'm actually sharing you my Canadian Multifamily Super Analyzer spreadsheet, which is, the same spreadsheet I used to use at CMHC, all right, but I improved upon it. It's got detailed instructions on how to use it. Green cell, you put a number, and all the calculations are done for you, right? Super user friendly, all right? Not only that, but I'm going to share with you all my personal tools. Like, in addition to the user-friendly spreadsheet, I've got a bunch of flow charts, like the entire investment process when you get into multifamily properties. An offer to purchase flow charts with the various documents and various timelines that you need to meet in order to conduct your due diligence. All the underwriting guidelines to finance your deal, whether you go CMHC insured financing or conventional financing. A financing flow chart, which financing strategy to use depending on the strategy and the circumstances of your deal. I'm going to give you my due diligence checklist, right? I used to be a lawyer, I used to do real estate law as well. An inspection checklist, a sample letter requesting documents from the vendor to make sure that you have all the information to conduct your due diligence. Basically, I'm sharing with you all my multifamily hacks that I've learned at CMHC over the years and plus in my own investing career. In the good old days, I would take you up to, conduct a full inspection of an apartment building accompanied by a professional building inspector. I would introduce you to other multifamily speakers, guest speakers that would share also their knowledge with you in addition to the knowledge that I'm sharing with you, right? We'd crunch numbers in class, sometimes some of my students' numbers or some of the case studies that I bring to class. Well, guess what? Not because we're in a pandemic that you're going to lose any of these benefits. On the contrary, in 2021, I'm really packing even more benefits for you. First of all, the building inspection that we would do if you had come to an in-person workshop. Well, in the on-demand course, there is a full inspection with, Alan Spizak, probably the best building inspector I've ever met, right? And so you view the inspection online in the online course, and then we have a Zoom session with Alan whereby Alan can answer all your questions. Same thing with the other guest speakers that are going to be coming. This year, Chris Davies, a good friend of mine, third generation of real estate investors. They were in the property management business for a long time, and he's also the author of the book, Apartment Buildings That Outperform. Right? He's going to be coming and speaking to you on Zoom and answer all your questions and help you get ready from a realtor's perspective. You're going to crunch more case studies in addition to the many ones that I'm going to bring to you with Nadeem Khashoggi, a professional mortgage broker, all right? So, and basically this year, precisely because I want to bring you to a level of comfort of crunching the numbers in class using the tools that I'm giving you. I want to raise your level of comfort in that regard. So I'm adding a full afternoon to the virtual workshop on February 26th in the afternoon in order to accommodate more case studies. We're going to crunch the numbers with me holding your hand until you achieve that level of confidence to do it in real life. Plus, I'm going to give you a downloadable workbook with all the slides, and next to which you can take notes as we go through the virtual workshop. Now let me talk to you about the on-demand course. It's 8 modules that contains over 70 lessons, short videos, as we'll see in a moment, 5 to 10 minutes, one concept per video, and then you can move on to the next one once you've assimilated, you've understood it correctly, right? And you can keep using this as a reference every time you do a deal. All the tools that I'm giving you, the inspection checklist, due diligence checklist, and so on. It is experiential, right? Like to give you as much hands-on experience within the classroom. So you're going to see how I conducted my due diligence. We have one particular case study, one of my own buildings, that you will see from beginning to end when I purchased it, how I selected the market, how I selected the property, and all the various due diligence documents that I went through. You're going to get lifetime access to the on-demand course plus all the future upgrades, and I'm super excited to tell you that I'm in the process of re-recording the Canadian Multifamily Investing Blueprint online course, and the next version 2.1 is coming out in the spring of 2021. That's what the course looks like on the inside. Like I said, short videos, and then you move on to the next one, right? Now let me tell you about the modules, the 8 modules. First, you have the introductory module, right, whereby I explain to you how to use the course. Then we get into the planning and research module. Needless to say, this is probably one of the most important modules in the entire course, along with the financing. I mean, they're all important, but planning and researching before you start writing offers is super critical. So I spend a lot of time prepping you in that regard. Then we get into the module for how to make an offer, and I show you sample offers, actual real deal offers as well. Plus, you get a template offer to purchase that you can amend at your will in consultation with your lawyer, obviously. Then we get into the 4 key risk factors that any real estate deal has. First of all, the property risk factor. Then we get into the market risk factor, valuation, the value of the asset. And then finally, we're going to look at the borrower risk factor and financing your deal. So these are the modules that we're going to go through in the course. And of course, like I said, all these other PDF documents and checklists, various checklists, and the video of the building inspection are attached to the course as well. Look, folks, there's nothing such as a 100% risk-free investment, but I can tell you, if you follow my blueprint, using what I learned at CMHC, and by the way, CMHC has the highest standards in the land, you're going to be pretty much assured of a very successful investment, all right? You know what? Banks and all the stakeholders in the multifamily investing business, the mortgage brokers and realtors, and your lenders are going to look at you like a rock star of multifamily investing. That, in turn, will build your confidence and reduce your stress significantly. Look, folks, I'll let you go to my website, multifamilyinvestingcanada.com, and year after year, my students rate this workshop very, very highly, over 9 out of 10, all right? But not because I get good rating on my trainings that I'm going to sit on my laurels. On the contrary, I'll let you go and view some of these testimonials, but this year in 2021, I'm coming up with a lot of new products to further assist you and make your job of being a successful apartment building investor as easy as possible. First of all, you're going to get one-pager blueprints per module so that at a glance you can see all the steps that you have to do. The spreadsheet in and of itself is also a blueprint, like I said earlier, but here at a glance, 1 page per module, and you see everything that you need to do, all the steps. In addition, I'm finally coming out with The Vault, which is a bunch of video interviews with other multifamily experts, such as George Duby, an accountant, how to set up your corporation, how to organize your accounting, other interviews with successful students so that you don't have to make mistakes, right? You can learn from their mistakes or their good deeds and shave years from your learning curve. Interviews with mortgage broker, pest control guy, plumber, and so on. I'm really trying to facilitate that process of making you successful at investing in larger apartment buildings of 5 or more units. Who is this training for? Well, it's for people willing to roll up their sleeves and who want to take charge of their destiny. People, obviously, who want to create more financial freedom for themselves and their families. People who can think abundance, raise their financial mental thermostat. I always say if you want to fly with the eagles, you cannot think like a pigeon. It's for people that want to create the lifestyle of their dream over time. It's not overnight riches, right? It's for people willing to do whatever it takes. This course is not for tire kickers. This is a high degree of professionalism that is expected of you. It's not for people who think success is a straight line and they're unwilling to roll up their sleeves. You see, what I learned at CMHC are the best strategies. I learned it from the pros, the large multifamily investors such as the real estate investment trusts, how to avoid costly mistakes and what are the financing strategies that are successful. And I'm sharing absolutely everything. What I'm offering you in this early bird offer, right, again, is the online on-demand course plus the virtual workshop at the end of February is worth well over $16,000, all right? Why? Because just the 2.5-day virtual workshop I usually sell for $34.97. The on-demand course on its own usually sells for $24.97. And this year, I'm going to come back to that in a moment as a bonus, you're going to be part of my private Facebook group. I already have a very large Facebook group, but this one is a new one that I'm creating the next couple of weeks before the next workshop, and so that only my graduate students can be part of it, and then I'm going to continue to provide you ongoing training just to this private group. And then I'm going to give you a copy of my financing application template. It's a lot of work, right? And this is worth well over $10,000. If you hire a mortgage broker to do this, they're going to charge you at least 1% of the loan amount. So it could be easily worth over $20,000 or more depending on the size of the loan amount that you're getting. So all of that, not $16,000, but $24.97. Again, I repeat, that's the on-demand course plus the virtual workshop 2.5 days with all the tools, all my personal tools that I mentioned earlier for $24.97 plus tax, all right? That's a major discount. But here's the thing. You got to act quickly because I can't have hundreds of people because we have this almost one-on-one interaction with the speakers and myself over 2.5 days. So the deadline to take advantage of this early bird price is February 17th, all right? So really, and again, the bonuses include, like I said, free online version, right? The online course version. You get be part of my Facebook group, private Facebook group, and then of course you get my financing application template, all right? I'd like for you to have the kind of lifestyle that I have. I'm able to take my family on beautiful trips, ski and go camping. That's what multifamily investing has done for me. So once again, this early bird price, which expires on February 17th, $24.97 for the online course as well as the virtual workshop. And of course, I guarantee my work because this is what I do for a living, right? I teach people and I do deals myself. So if you're not happy with this, at the end of the first full day of the workshop, you can return the material to me, no questions asked, and I'll get all your money back, all right? But please invest in yourself. I love this quote from Warren Buffett, probably one of the best, investors of the 20th century, right? He said, ultimately, there's one investment that supersedes all others. Invest in yourself. And I met with Dean Grassosi, who's sitting next to Tony Robbins a few years ago in one of my business coaching groups in San Diego. And, Dean said the same thing. He himself, a real estate multimillionaire in the United States, said he's invested hundreds of thousands of dollars in his education. There's nothing like investing in yourself for your own success. So again, the early bird discount takes, is expiring on February 17th. I hope to see you there. Just go to multifamilyinvestingcanada.com and you can use the coupon investing2021 and I'd love to see you on the inside. And by the way, once you're in my online community, you take the online course, I'm the one that answers your question within the online course. So in the meantime, I hope that you and your families are doing well. I know these are difficult times, guys, but we always have a choice on how we respond to these difficult challenges. So in the meantime, again, wish you and your families well. Hope to see you in one of my training programs. Cheers.